1.
Hi, I am Kavya, a student of Toyomo Institute of Technology. I am here to make a short presentation on climate change as an infection risk management. The presentation is divided into four main sections. Firstly, the outbreak, the climate change, uh, firstly the outbreak of climate change, and secondly the climate contributed to increased risk of infection, both existing and emerging. Thirdly, risk management strategy framework. And finally, the benefits of that. The climate change is affecting the world population. Over the due period of time, there is a substantial rise in the amount of infectious risk due to it. Uh, the well-being and the health of the populations are endangered by the climate change. There are a considerable number of potential risks and outbreaks that the population is susceptible to, especially the people who lived in New Zealand. The emerging and existing infection source contributed due to the climatic change analyzed. Then we are looking at the potential infection and outcomes along with the areas at risk. The climate change is one of the most important part of in our life because there is so many problems including that climate change due to. Here I suggest four main diseases like waterborne disease, vector-borne diseases, foodborne diseases, and airborne diseases. What are the potential infection and outcomes along with the areas of risk? The climatic change and had resulted in giving rise to potential infection and risk to the health to the people globally, including New Zealand. Malaria or West Nile viruses. We are all know or we are all heard about that. The malaria or the West Nile virus is a tropical or subtropical disease. It is caused by the bite of a mosquito. It's called Anopheles mosquito. Uh, Actually, which is not generally found in New Zealand. But the Culex pervigilans mosquito found in New Zealand is considered likely to the carrier of this virus or these parasites. New Zealand is facing the similar like USA with the birds are facing mortality rate and the mosquito acquired the virus when feed on the birds. The population is facing a high risk of that due to this malaria uh, infections. And what are the affected areas? Mainly the French Polynesia and the Cook Islands, Fiji, Federated State of Micronesia, and New Caledonia. Like such and such conditions are affecting this kind of infections. Next one is dengue fever. Dengue fever is a spread through infected Aedes mosquito, and this mosquito is not directly spread from one person to another. It is causes severe abdominal pain, continuously vomiting, and rapid breathing, restless, along with other symptoms. For the people of New Zealand, a report about dengue fever was found in November 2015 of the Hawaii Island Department of Health. And next is Zika virus. Zika virus is predominant in many tropical and subtropical areas. Here is a picture of uh, health due to the health, climate change. What is the diseases and what causes? It's included here, and which of the areas at most risk areas. Before that, I will conclude the Zika virus. The Zika virus is a prominent in many tropical and subtropical areas in New Zealand. And this mosquito is not found in this country. Usually spread the Zika virus. The people, especially in pregnant women, are at the risk being affected with serious potential consequences like fatal birth defect and poor pregnancy outcomes in the rise of these viruses. And number of cases reported to spread of Zika viruses rates in holiday destination areas of New Zealand. And now we can see the coastal region. What are the regions? Because coastal region, these are the main regions which affect the climatic changes. Arctic, Africa, small islands, and Asian mega deltas. Because some areas have cold areas, some areas are cold areas, and some of them are extreme hot, extreme cold, and extreme hot. Due to this climate change, the sea level is increasing because the ice is melting, mainly in the Arctic and in small islands. The sea level is increasing, so obviously it causes the floods, something like that. And the Asian mega deltas and Africa's, it's too extreme hot. That's why there is also affect the climatic changes. Then I'm going to look at the evidence of climate change contribute to the infectious increased risk of infection. Okay, we are all know about that the global warming, especially the panel of intergovernmental for climate change had stated that the global warming is unmistakable in their 2013 fifth assessment report, and it is due to the immersion of pollution in case of New Zealand. The emission come from the transport and agricultural sector. We have no when the transportation, due to transportation here in New Zealand, there is a big uh, part of agricultural sector, so it is one of the cause of this climate changes and its various effect on the health of the global populations are both in direct and indirect. But the risk of climate change and infections are acknowledged by the authorities of World Health and key medical journals. The statement provided by the authorities and journals are classified in three levels: primary, secondary, and tertiary. The vector-borne diseases such as dengue fever and diarrhea diseases are existing as health risk. Here I show a picture of climate change, the heat, host, pathogens, and transmission adaptation, and what was the causes, what was the effects. I also include in this picture. The effect of climate towards the health of human being is major as the climate has not turned warm. And with the change of nature for rainfall, snow, and stream flow, an unexpected warmer climate increases the risk of illness uh, due to the extreme heat and poor air quality. That means air pollution. One on top of it, change in climate increases frequently to extreme events like flood, drought, and threatens human safety. In fact, the older people, hmm, the older people are more vulnerable to heat and pollution, causing heat stress in mortality rate. The changes in climate often lead to generation of infectious diseases with warming. The changes in approximately the in might good diseases is natural and can create adverse impact on the health. The climate change is the main reason for infectious disease transmission. And the evidence provided by World Health Organization focus on the vectors biting measurement. vector's chances of survival and reproduction. And the